Good afternoon, Discover and Recover Yoga people, Yoga peeps. It's Wednesday. It is the 11th of October here in Central Indiana. So you may be watching this as a recording wherever you are in whatever time zone. Welcome. I'm sporting my Indie Holistic Hub shirt today. A shout out to Jen Seffrin and the team that she's built, where we here in the greater Indianapolis area, we put together, she's the brainchild, the brains behind this India Holistic Hub, which started out as a directory of wellness and well-being practitioners, and it's grown exponentially over the last 8 or 10 years. And she's done a marvelous job to bring the wellness and the holistic community together. We just did that a couple of weeks ago on the 1st of October with the Wellbeing Fest. Hope you all are well for this session, for this version of Discover and Recover Yoga, as I am going to pin. Yes. Okay. So at the end, if you're still here, I will unmute you guys, and we'll see about maybe having a couple of questions. But for now, it is seated. So I'm using this meditation cushion. You might use a block. You might use a folded up blanket. You might just come seated directly onto the surface of the mat, your surface. But for me, with my at this juncture, with two new hips, one's 3 years old. The right hip is 3 years old. The left hip is 10 and a half, almost 11 months old. So as we nestle into, if cross-legged works, that's an option. Butterfly pose is a variation. Legs out front. Even coming to sitting on your knees is another variation. But if you can find this crisscross applesauce, this is your opportunity to just check in. So this is, the beginning of this session, Discover and Recover Yoga. And discovering, as I was just sharing with one of the participants, that I missed an appointment. I missed an appointment with my chiropractor today. I was distracted. Frankly, my calendar, I didn't read it well. I missed the appointment. But what I noticed is the sensation that as I called to reschedule, there is a late fee, which will be assessed the next time I see Dr. Manny, that I wasn't taking that noodle or that belt and whipping myself. You dumbass, you can't keep a calendar. You're such a loser when it comes. And I stopped. I just nipped that negative self-talk in the bud and realized, I made a mistake, got it rectified. It's not the end of the world. Move on. That is new behavior. As recently as maybe 3, 4 years ago, I would have carried that mistake for a day and a half, maybe 2 days, and just beat myself up like, you piece of crap. So there's progress. So maybe that might relate to some, as we breathe, as we check in with the seated posture. So there, I will call that a discovery of how that negative self-talk has been minimized. Almost, it's not been totally eradicated, believe me, no, but it's certainly it's a lot better over the course of time. Pull rich and deep on the inhale, a nice steady exhale through the mouth. And gently remind folks, if you're walking briskly, if you're riding a bike, if you're climbing stairs, if you're indoor cycling, outdoor cycling, try nostril breathing. It'll really help build lung capacity and lung endurance. So, that episode I just described, it comes to this, it fits into this theme of acceptance. I'm accepting I made a mistake. I'm not going to beat myself over it, but acceptance is the key to a lot of my discontent, a lot of my ability to take this thing called life on life's terms. There's a level of acceptance that if I'm continuing to push against and to try to control or try to manipulate a person, place, or thing, and instead of accepting it as it is at this moment, I'm discontent. I'm out of balance. Beautiful. Now let's do this as you draw the hands at heart center. If there is a purpose, another notion, a thought, a prayer, an idea, a concept, maybe it is around acceptance as the key. Maybe it is minimizing negative self-talk. So whatever that might, however that might unfold in this moment, notice and breathe. Sending some love, some light out to maybe there's somebody in your midst who's struggling. You know, we've got a lot of struggles as the news this past weekend unfolded. You know, we're just in a lot of state of chaos in certain regions. And so what can we do individually, collectively to be the eye of the hurricane when the storm is swirling, when the proverbial stuff is hitting the fan? What can we do to become that eye of the hurricane in the midst of the whirling dervishes, in the midst of the chaos? What can we do individually and collectively to be still? Actually, let's try that. Let's just be still here for this moment. Transitioning to nostril breathing, if you haven't already. I'll continue if you like to take the tongue to the roof of the mouth, which I've been the last few weeks, we've been doing that, would almost require nostril breathing, or certainly encourage. I've got some students saying, oh no, I can still breathe out through my mouth with my tongue at the roof. Most can't, as you just normally breathe. Thank you for some of that. Still, just a brief version. As we interlace his fingers, here we go, discovering your recover people. Let's touch and place palms forward. There's a nice rounding through the upper back, mid back. So I'm drawing my interlace palms forward. My head between my triceps and the biceps. Now I'm going to inhale those interlace palms towards the ceiling. Feel myself coming up out of the hip flex. Well, maybe a little bit out of the hip flexors, maybe certainly out of the shoulders, but the right hand down and the left arm up and over. So here is an opportunity to walk the right fingertips over. We got a side stretch going on. You might feel it through that left side body. And I'm going to suggest you move the head a bit, yes or no. Oh, there's a nice top, because that's going to work on that side body. Obliques on the right. Beautiful. We'll hold for 3. Keep reaching, almost there for 2. Right, nostril breathe. Now, please, on 1, bend that left elbow. Bring the left hand to the back of the head. On an inhale, I'm drawing my left elbow back, and exhale, left elbow to right knee or right thigh. Inhale, we twist open, and exhale, there's a condensing, elbow to thigh. So, yep, I'm coming up, and hopefully you guys are still going. I'll call this out. We'll go for 4. Yes, think about inhaling to open up that right side, that left side. By exhale, you condense in for 3. The torso's getting, spine's getting a nice workout for 2. Okay, now on 1, untwist. Come back to whatever seated posture, wherever the hands want to go. Nice. Just a brief check-in. Yes. As my practice evolves, 6, 8, 10 years ago, my practices, I'd be a student or even a teacher, well, mostly a student, because I never, with vinyasa, a practice called vinyasa, we're doing some of that, but it would be 1 breath with movement for 60 minutes. Occasionally the teacher would say, or maybe 75 minutes, okay, go ahead and take a break in child's pose, take a break in tabletop. Otherwise, 1 breath, 1 movement, inhale, move, exhale, move. So it's rigorous. So I like to take these little pauses as we return the hands back to the heart space. We'll check in. I'd like you to reinterlace the fingers, the left dominant thumb on top. Every time I interlace my fingers, my right thumb, now it's my left. I sit forward again. Please, the chin is in. Carve out that core. Now inhale, interlace palms towards the ceiling. Up and out of the hip flexors or shoulder heads, but maybe the hips as well. Left hand to the floor, right arm up and over. You can walk the left fingertips maybe a little further out, move the head a bit, draw that right hip low, because mine wants to pop up. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now, yes, right elbow bends. Inhale is opening me up to the twist. Exhale, I find the condensing. Inhale, I open, and exhale, I twist. So that's the movement. Hopefully my verbal cues are clear enough that you could do this without even looking at your monitor. So my hopefully, as an instructor at this level, that I'm able to cue you clearly through this. So keep going for 4. Inhale, you rise. Exhale, you condense for 3. Oh, man. Breathing into that for 2. Last one. Oh, nice. All right. You're back to this posture where we wrap the fingertips around the shins. Inhaling for cow. So usually we do this on hands and knees or standing. Inhale, draw the heart up and gaze lift. Exhale, chin tucks and back round. We did that just a moment ago. Inhale, I'm rolling the pelvic bowl forward. Gaze lift, heartless. Exhale, the chin tucks in the background. So that's just this wave-like motion with the spine. Inhaling for cow, exhale for cat. Nice. Keep going for 4. I mean, yep. Let's monitor this. Beautiful, guys. Breathing into that for 3. Here we go for 2. Okay, eventually you're neutral. You're still in seated posture. This may sound a little counterintuitive, but let's shrug the shoulders up. Shrug the shoulders up by the ears. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you, and then lift the chin to the ceiling. You will get a big, energetic crunch in the upper back, and that's on purpose. We'll hold for 3. Shoulders are up by the ears. Collarbones, shoulder blades squeeze. Chin lifts for 2. Now relax everything. My hope is the head might feel lighter. Okay, we're going to one more time. Shoulders shrug up by the ears. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together behind me and lifting the chin so that back of the neck gets scrunched on purpose by design as we hold for 3. It's hard to talk through this, so you're not talking, so just lift the chin for 2. Now, and then on 1, please relax. Whew, I do feel like my head feels like it's a little lighter. Okay, transition time, shifting to hands and knees. So I'm taking the block or the bolster or the meditation cushion out, and I'm on my hands and knees. Beautiful. Might think like we're setting up for cat-cow, but we're not. We're going to spin. Yeah, you're going to take those shoulders as far out over the wrist as comfortably possible. Brush the hips across the heels. Big sweeping motions, or you know what? Whatever size circle you're painting on the mat. Yeah. So your wrist and shoulders will kind of dictate that. So will the hips and the knees. So whatever direction you go in, let's keep that for 3. Nice. Here's 2. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a pop. Now on 1, reverse other way. As if you had a marker on your belly. It's getting that circle drawn on your mat, on your surface. And that breath remains nostril breathing. You'll hear me on occasion suggest, and you make good to it yourself with a full, rich, and deep diaphragmatic breath. Okay, you're back to neutral, big toes to touch. Draw the knees out wide, child's pose. So, see how this feels in the low back, mid back, child's pose. Chicken. Oh, guess what? Wonderful opportunity to insert a diaphragmatic breath. Just a suggestion, maybe let that, do that once, maybe twice as we hold this posture for 4. Breathing steady into that for 3. Almost there for 2. All right, now on 1, we're going to inhale back up to table. All right, I'm going to suggest you draw if your knees are out wide, draw them back underneath the hips. So it's hips and knees alignment, wrists and shoulders alignment. Here we go, Discover Yoga folks. We're going to inhale those right arm lifting. So the torso twists once again. And as I exhale, I'm threading that right arm over towards the left side. First to land on the mat is my right shoulder, followed by my right ear, right cheek, right temple. The left hand is probably in front of your face, your nose, or your chin for support. Now, ideally, yes, that right shoulder lands first on the mat, followed by right ear, right cheek, or right temple. Left hand, if it can stay in front of the face or walk it forward. Some will draw it to the front of the mat. Some will draw that left arm to the low back. So there's a couple, and I did when I first started this, I toppled over. So be mindful of how this shoulder engagement is working. We'll hold for 3. Breathing steady into that for 2. Hard to do with the earbuds in that. Now on 1, bring that left hand back in front of the face if it was anywhere else. Press into left palm and lift that right arm up. So we're going to find that twist again and then back to table. Okay. We'll reset. Same thing other side. Left arm goes high. Think about it at 12 o'clock. Exhale, you thread it through. First to the mat is your left shoulder. So let it be the base, followed by left ear, left cheek, left temple. And yes, your right hand is probably going to be in front of your chin or your chest, where it stays there, or it travels to the front of the mat or to the low back. Yeah. We'll hold for 3. Just breathing into that for 2. Okay, on 1, I'm going to take that right hand back in front of my chin or chest, press into it, unfurl that left arm back to the sky. Ooh, yeah. And then guess what? You're back to hands and knees. Okay. I've got a nice spreading of those 10 fingers. I've got a nice tucking of the 10 toes. And here we go. I'm lifting downward facing dog. Oh, yeah. So first downward dog of the session, you might bend one knee and then the other, where there's the tail wagging, the head can move like it's on a swivel. Got a lot of energy at the top of the mat, got a lot of energy at the back of the mat, trying to get some energy there, perhaps. Heels are grounded, or sometimes my heels find the mat, sometimes they don't. If your heels don't find the mat, no worries, no worries. A little power pose is coming up. I'm inhaling to the tiptoes. As I exhale, I'm going to bend the knees, cover the shins a couple inches above the mat. So we'll call it floating tabletop. We're just here for 3. As you guys know, almost there for 2. Now 1, hips high, heels low, downward dog. Remember, please, the reset is coming back onto hands and knees or back onto child's pose, because we got 2 more of those floating tabletops. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, restack the shoulders above the wrist, re-hover the shins. Here's the float for 3. Hello, Achilles, getting a nice stretch for 2. Now 1, hips high, heels low, downward dog. Okay. Maybe a little wardrobe check. But eventually, last floating tabletop with a little add-on. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, we're hovering. Now I'm taking right knee to right elbow or right forearm, left knee to left wrist. So I'm just tapping, coming forward. Here's 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. Last one. Beautiful. Let's lift the hips and revisit downward dog, but walk the hands backwards. So you should be standing forward, fold back of the mat. Take your time getting there. If you need to adjust, standing forward, fold back of the mat. Head's below the heart. Now let's ride on. Let's roll up the spine. Get the head to come. There I am. Hopefully you can see me okay. Just that camera a bit. Ooh. So kind of good. So mountain pose, back of the mat. Check in with the breath. Check in with your posture. And observe. Nice. All is well. No worries here. I'm going to suggest that this instrument here, this block, is a great prop, because we're going to come into what we'll find is, we'll call this pyramid pose. So I'm going to begin with the left foot forward. The feet are on they're on railroad tracks. So you're not on a balance beam. So you've got some space between your left heel and your right toes, but the feet are nicely parallel to the long edge of the mat. I'm going to put this block down to the instep of my left foot. So hands are on the hips, so I can see if I can find this pyramid pose, squaring the hips to the top. I'm going to take this right arm to the sky. And as I exhale, I'm hinging from the hips. Hinging from the hips as I bring that right fingertips down to the mat or to the block. Inhale, I'm rising back up. Maybe a little back bend. And exhale, I'm folding forward. So that's the motion. Inhale, you rise up. Exhale, you fold forward. And I can tell you right now, doing this with the eyes closed is a whole new ball game. So I would suggest, if you want to try with your eyes closed, you got to watch your balance as we go for 4. Breathing steady into this for 3. Almost there for 2. All right, last one. Let's go ahead, come back up and take that right foot up to meet the left. So let's reset in mountain pose. Whatever that looks like. Maybe there's a little shimmy. Maybe there's a big breath in, a big breath out. Now I'm going to take this. We're going to bring this right foot forward. Left foot is back. So find that base. Pyramid legs, kind of, sort of. Hips square to the top of that. Hands on the hips, because we mean business. Left arm by left ear. So we're staying here. I'm going to just build this base. The inhale may find me with a little baby back bend. And the exhale, now I'm hinging from the way, leading with the crown of the head and the left fingertips. Coming down to a block. Inhale, rising back up. And actually, one of the options as you exhale down, you might want to stay there for a moment, you know? Right hand stays on the hip, left hand to the instep of that right foot or to a block, or you maintain the coming up and down. So that's your choice as we go for 4. Again, if the eyes are closed, that changes the game considerably. for 3. Ooh, almost there for 2. Last one. Okay, left hand to left hip. That left foot comes up, and you're probably somewhere towards the top of the mat. And pause. Ears above shoulders, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, knees above ankles. It's very simple, but so pivotal when we think about the strength, the balance, the resiliency, the presence, being in the present mindedness of this solid mountain pose where the 10 toes lift. 10 toe pads lift off of the mat, off of your surface, spreading the toes as wide as you can. And then we'll start. For me, all I can do is bring that big toe to the mat. The other 8 toe pads, they all land at whatever time. So this is just working that. It's a little bit of toe yoga. Now, suggestion is to draw the toes in towards the balls of the feet, as if you were scrunching a towel up or trying to wrap the toes around a pencil or a pen. So this is great for the bony structure. This is great for the musculature of the balls of the feet. So keep squeezing them in for 3. Here's 2. All right, nice. Last one, and pause. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to do the best job I can to come up onto the tiptoes. So this gives me a chance to balance on the balls of the feet. Arms can go high. If the balance in the balls and feet doesn't work, just bring the heels down to the mat. But eventually we're going to twist it to the right. Left hand front, right hand back. Trying to do that from the balls of the feet. And then back to center. Now we're going to twist it to the left. So let right arm front, left arm back, back to center. One more time. Twist it to the right. So we're teeing the torso. Up high we go. Last time to the left. Nice. Back to center. And then please relower. Oh, yeah. You need to shake that out a bit. Beautiful. Okay. So I'll face the top of the mat again. Hands come onto the thighs. Let's walk our hands down the thighs, past the knees, onto the shins, and we fold. We let go. We release. Okay. It is now the right foot to the back of the mat. It's a low lunge. We're just here for a moment. Good job, guys. I'm going to suggest you lower that right knee, flatten that right foot. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take the arms forward and come on up. So we have this supported lunge. I'm trying to maybe get a nice stretch to that right hip flexor. Some will draw that right knee further back. Some will draw this left knee further forward. Arms are by the ears. Eventually, I'm going to draw the hands to the heart center, right elbow to left thigh. Right elbow to left thigh. So twist happens in the torso. I'm squeezing my inner left thigh towards my inner right thigh, trying to find that center of gravity. Hold for 3. You guys, nice. Almost there for 2. Now, we're going to come back to center. Inhale this fingertip to the ceiling. But as we exhale, I'm going to take this right hand front and left hand back. So I'm not facing you guys, but I'm taking my right hand front, my left hand back. But eventually, I'm going to sweep the right hand high and the left hand low. Maybe that left hand connects to the right butt cheek, maybe the right hamstring. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now let's cartwheel both hands to come down and frame that left foot. Right toes are going to curl under. Right knee lifts. Some will do the jump switch. Right? I can't believe. Otherwise, you bring the right foot up and the left foot back. Left knee will be down. Left foot will flatten. Maybe that left knee draws back a little further. Arms come forward. Same thing other side. So supported low lunge here. Okay. Nice. Inhale, lengthen to the hips. Exhale, hands heart center. Left elbow to right thigh. Oh, hello, right thigh. Nice. Hold the twist. We'll breathe into this for 3. Here we go for 2. Now, when we're back to center. Beautiful. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms wide and high. Here we go. The left hand is front, right hand is back. Now I'm facing you guys. Facing the, beautiful. Hold for 3. We're teeing the torso for 2. Now I'm 1. Left hand high, right hand low. Big sweeping motions along this left side body. We'll hold for 3. Beautiful. Breathing into that for 2. Now on 1, gently cartwheel and frame that right foot. Let's do this, guys. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Child's pose. And maybe this version of child's pose has the knees a little closer together. So just, I want to call it variations and make it interesting. Hopefully it feels good in the body. Yeah, so acceptance of, how I made this screw up today, acceptance of people, places, and things. It seems the more I have the idea of accepting, I seem to find different, a level of peace of mind. I think it gives me a little more peace of mind. So a couple more breaths here. If you'd like to reintroduce that full, rich, and deep breath cycle, that's awesome. All right, please, let's come back up on hands and knees. Yeah, we'll pause here. Retuck the toes, relift the hips. We're upside down. One more time. In downward dog. Pedal the feet out, wag the tail. Beautiful. All right, we come into some stillness, almost no movement in this downward dog. Left towards side, gaze towards the belly button. Now, on an it's a little bit of a power pose. On an inhale, I'm hinging forward. I'm going to kind of scooch the balls of my feet back into plank. I'm going to eventually lower the knees, flatten the feet, and bring my chest and chin down between my thumbs. You may look like you've got a little curve to the low back where the butt's lifting up. Inhale draws the heart through. We'll find cobra or up dog. Watch the shoulders. I have a tendency to bring, and on the exhale, I'm going to bend the knees, retuck the toes, downward dog. This is the last series of the downward dog. So, all right, what that looks like, guys, is we inhale to plank. As we exhale, the knees lower, the feet flatten, chest and chin between the thumbs. Inhale draws the heart forward. You can stay here, let this back bend release you, or you can rebend the knees, retuck the toes, relift the hips, downward dog. Okay. So again, tabletop, child's pose is observable. We're going to go one more time. Inhale to plank. Exhale, the knees lower. Feet flatten, chest and chin between the thumbs. Inhale draws the heart through and up. And this time on the exhale, let's find hero's pose. That's drawing the sits bones, the glutes to the heels. If that doesn't feel good, a cushion or a blanket folded up between the hamstrings and the calves is a variation. If neither one of those work, you can certainly come into mountain pose on it. There's just a little brief pause here. Okay. Last week I introduced this position. It's a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to start to walk my fingertips back as I lift my shins. I'm stretching the front of the feet. There's a huge stretch to the front of the feet, a big time as we hold for 3. If this doesn't work, just keep the shins to the mat. We'll get to the top of the feet in a different way for 2. Now on 1, lower back down. Okay. We'll pause here. Okay, we're still in this posture. I'm walking the hands back as I lift the shins. It may lift an inch. It may go a little higher. Rocking it back. I almost rocked all the way back the other day. We'll hold for 3. That's breathing into that for 2. So I got all 10 toenails pressing in the mat. Now on 1, lower back down. Beautiful. And then just come forward back to table. You can extend the ball of that right foot to the sticky mat. So I'm pressing through, just stretching the right foot in a different direction, obviously. So it's Achilles and calf. Okay. Right knee draws underneath right hip. The ball of the left foot comes back. Give it a big stretch. Hopefully that ball of that left foot's on something sticky enough so you can feel that engagement. Left knee back underneath left hip. All right, no fancy transition. You can lower right hip or left hip. And we'll swing the legs around to the front. Yay, getting to our seated posture. I know if you have to leave early, you can click off, no worries. But we continue in staff pose. Yeah, get this on the way. Arms will lift and our seated forward fold. So noticing maybe a baby bend into the knees. Hello, low back. Suggestion is on an inhale is to kind of draw the back almost flattens. And then maybe on the exhale, you can get a little deeper in the stretch. And I know this is a big, these hamstrings, which is, of course, one of the largest muscle groups in the body, takes forever to Been stretching these bad boys 45, 46, 47 years. All right, let's walk the hands up the outstretched legs. Nice. Okay, we're coming into cannonball position. We're going to bend the knees, sole the feet on the mat. My hands come down by my hips as I draw my butt cheeks, as I draw my glutes up towards my heels. All right, it's for me, it's really easy to keep my hands back here, but I'm going to attempt to grab the shins. Maybe opposite hand, opposite forearm, maybe opposite hand, opposite elbow. So you're in a cannonball. You're in a can open. No, you're not. You're cannonball. You know, we talked about that. All right. Option is to keep the feet grounded or lift the feet. And you're on a balance for the booty. Nice. A little bounce. Now here comes a little challenge part. On an inhale, I'm going to open it up into boat pose. Modification is hands by the hamstrings or down by the side. And as I exhale, I'm reconnecting with cannonball. Inhale, I open it up. You can do this with the heels to the floor. Exhale, I'm back to cannonball. One more time. Inhale, we open up to the possibilities. And exhale, I'm trying to maintain that balance on the booty. Beautiful, guys. Okay, I hope you have room behind you as you trust yourself with this. Chin tucks into the chest. We'll see if we can get the balance. And with the chin tucked into the chest, I'm going to roll it back like so. Oh, nice. Shoulder blades and the back of the head will find the mat, find the surface. The arms come out like wings. Knees float to the right, gaze is left. Knees float to the right, gaze is left. Oh, yeah. Maybe that right hand finds the outside of that left thigh for a little extra nudge. Noticing for me, I'm so tight through the torso that left shoulder blade pops a little bit off the mat, and that's okay. Well, I can grab onto this chair, this table. We'll breathe into this. We'll hold for 4. Breathing into that for 3. Here's 2. All right, I want to come back to center. And those who are familiar with my practice, I like the prefix re. So let's rebind. You know, reconnect with shins. I'd say 95% of students grab the shins. I'm trying to do this in the morning. I'm trying to, in the bed, I grab it. I find this condensing, see where those thighs are into relation to my core. Other side, arms out like wings, knees left, gaze in back. Ooh, feel that. Nice. Nice. Maintain the twist. You can take now that left hand to the top of the right thigh, extra nudge, extra engagement. As the body goes there as we hold for 4. Breath is steady. If you'd like to reintroduce fuller, richer, and deeper and diaphragmatic breaths, I'm going to suggest that for 3. Oh, here we go for 2. Now, on 1, draw the hips back to center. The knees will follow. Beautiful. All right, soles of the feet to the mat. Soles of the feet to the mat. Inhale, we're just going to go ahead and lift the hips a little bit. Bridge pose. And actually, I kind of meant to put bridge pose first before the supine twist, and that's okay because what we'll do is some will feel it to the top of the thighs, some will feel it to the low back and glutes. You can squeeze the butt cheeks together. You can walk those heels a little closer to glutes. If it's available, you might interlace the hands underneath the bum. So there's some options as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now let's release. If you have the bind, release it, but roll that spine back down. And let's just take the knees from side to side. Little windshield wipering. Okay. Bridge pose number 2 is coming up. Inhale, relift. You can squeeze the shoulder blades together. That helps to kind of create that bind if you want to interlace the fingers underneath the bum. Again, some will walk those heels a little closer to the glutes. We've got hip, knee, and ankle alignment. Opportunities now come up onto the tiptoes, with or without the bind in the hands. So your body will tell you what works best as we hold for 3. Once you guys breathing steady into that for 2. All right, eventually everything releases back to the surface. And once again, we move the knees side to side. Okay. Third and final version. You probably can anticipate what's going to happen. Lift the hips, squeeze the shoulder together, find the bind under the bum if you like, up onto the tiptoes. I'm staying on the ball of the left foot, right leg lifts. I might give that right ankle some TLC, some love. I can give that left butt cheek some squeeze. Nice as we hold for 4. Nice, here's 3. Breathing into that for 2. All right, on 1, I'm going to bend that right knee, ball right foot to the mat, left leg comes up. Now I get to squeeze this right butt cheek as I give that left ankle some love. Nice. Bind still maintained. We'll hold for 4. Here's 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now I want to rebend the left knee, ball left foot. Let's release everything back to the mat. That's it. Discover and recover, people. A little windshield wiping again, the knees side to side. Nice. As you come back to center, opportunity for some to keep the knees bent because it takes pressure off the low back. Others will visit butterfly pose, so nice connection of big toe mounds and heels. Traditionally, right ankle extends the right corner mat, left ankle to left corner of the mat, hands down by the side, palms up, a little more receiving of energy, palms down, a little more grounding. And I'm going to adjust in the mat a little bit. And we rest. The beauty of Savasana. Finding stillness, strength in the stillness, and power when we pause. The idea again, acceptance seems to be the key to my contentment. If I can accept people, places, and things, situations as they are, not as I would have them to be. It's a big ask. It's a big deal, a level of acceptance. Any residual tension, any excess stiffness or tightness in the body, please just let it go. Soften from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Know you are supported on this journey, on this path. Questions, comments, feedback, always welcome. A few more moments, please. Okay. Let's come into a morning set. Surely it's the afternoon. Maybe it's the morning as you're watching this. Who knows? Arms reach overhead. I'm a foot flexor. I got a lot of students that like to point the toes, so you get to choose. It's, I know, no different. Oh, there's some popping going on as the fingers wiggle, the toes wiggle, the ankles windshield wiper, the wrists get some rotation. Inhale, maybe seemingly lengthens us. Well, we don't really lengthen unless you could grow yourself taller. I wish I could do that, get myself taller. But the exhale, the knees draw back in. Final bind. Still rocking and rolling, may feel good. I've got students that will float to the right side or the left side, maybe find that fetal position. So I'm going to come on to my right side. All right. Whatever position you're going to come on up to seated. I'm coming back onto this meditation cushion as my base. Back to Sukhasana, crisscross legs. You can choose another variation that works best. And pause. still, stillness, acceptance, peace of mind, contentment. And as we do traditionally to seal this practice, of the hands to the heart space. Here's an acknowledgement of what emanates from the heart center. You know, one of my favorite phrases there. I'd like to add on something, maybe courage, perseverance. These elements that just strengthen the heart, strengthen our soul, allow us to show up in this space, in this world, be of service. We close, we seal with the word namaste. Please know the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit that dwells within me, indeed, with a bunch of gratitude and hopefully a mindset towards acceptance, bows to the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit within you guys. Namaste. Okay. See you guys next week.